Now, one of the things that I was getting into this past week was on forgiveness and whether or not forgiveness is optional and when we should forgive and how we should forgive and stuff like this. And this came up somewhat due to news events and somewhat due to the fact that with multiple people I happen to be studying the Lord's Prayer. And in the Lord's Prayer, Jesus gives the Lord's Prayer multiple times in the Bible. When he gives it slightly differently in different areas. Makes me believe that the Lord's Prayer was something that he taught to his disciples and the people more than one time, rather than this just being one story that's repeated. In Matthew 6, verse 9, it says, pray like this. Jesus says, pray like this. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our debts as we also have forgiven our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Now this line in particular, in verse 12, Matthew 6, verse 12, and forgive us our debts as we also have forgiven our debtors. And then Jesus follows up in verse 14 immediately afterwards. For, remember the rule regarding the word for, therefore, think about the stuff that happened immediately before. Therefore, if you forgive others their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive others their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. So there's this verse, there's other verses that say similar things, and this deals with forgiveness and being unwilling to forgive. And one of the best stories, I think, one of the best parables to explain this is when I think it's not the parable of the unrighteous. It's the one where the guy wastes a bunch of money. He wastes like millions of billions of dollars or something like this, some amount of money that he can't possibly pay off. He obviously works in government. Otherwise, how do you waste that much money? So he wastes an insane amount of money, and the king or the person in charge of him basically says, you've wasted all this money, and he says, please have mercy on me, I can't pay this, and his master forgives him. So then he goes and he turns around and he finds somebody who owes him something like $10,000. A lot of money, but not an amount of money that couldn't be paid off. And then he literally chokes the guy, and he says, pay me what you owe, as he's choking him, as if the guy is just going to pull $10,000 out of his wallet. And then he has the guy thrown in prison. As a result of him not forgiving this other person, his master comes back and revokes the forgiveness that he has given to him. He says, you will pay me every penny that you owe. I think there's actually a gospel reading one of the days where it says, and you will not come out of prison until you've paid back every penny. This is the gospel of the Lord. And that's how we end that one.